This week, the PBA Tour visits the bright lights of Las Vegas, Nevada. Our first match features Hugh Miller. Miller, a lefty from Seattle, Washington, with 6 PBA Tour titles, lost to Brian Voss in last night's round of 8. A concerned Miller knew what needed to happen to make today's show.
The way this works is yours truly, Hugh Miller, who lost in the round 8 to Brian Voss, is now rooting here for Tommy Jones to win this match so I can become the wild card. Come on, Tommy.
Jones did win, and today Miller takes on the hottest bowler on the PBA Tour, Ricky Ward. Ward, a winner 2 weeks ago, is making his 3rd consecutive TV appearance. Last night in a marquee round of 8 matchup, Ward defeated Amleto Monticelli to advance. The winner takes on Tommy Jones. Jones, a highly regarded rookie, is making his first ever TV appearance. Jones reached the semifinals by defeating Richie Allen in the round of 8, 195-193 in the 5th and final game. Our other semifinal features Jason Couch. Today, Couch is looking to surpass the $1 million mark in career earnings. Couch reached the semifinal by defeating Brian Albert in 3 straight games. Couch takes on Brian Voss. Voss, a PBA Hall of Famer, is burning for his first title since 1998. Before defeating Miller in the round of 8, Voss defeated Pete Weber in a battle of PBA Hall of Famers, 237 to 224 in the 5th and final game.
Yes, I'm taking that PGW.
The PBA Las Vegas Open is next on ESPN. For the 43rd year, the PBA Tour has made its way to Las Vegas, Nevada. And for the 3rd consecutive year, we're at the Orleans Hotel, Casino, and Bowling Center for the Las Vegas Open. As we take a look at the Alka-Seltzer brackets, we have Miller and Ward in our first match, Brian Voss, Jason Couch in match number 2, and the rookie Tommy Jones waiting in the wings. Randy, how about updating us on the lane conditions today?
Here's the PBA sport condition that I averaged about 205 on this week. The oil is applied very even from side to side. You got a lot of undulation here because of the lane surface. This week's story, however, is the length of the oil. It was very long this week. They ran continuous oil to 33 feet and buffed it to 42. And what that did was it forced the players away from the outside part of the lane. Forced everybody to play in, left-handers and right-handers alike. Jason Couch, you can watch him playing the extreme inside angle, something very uncommon in today's game. The righties will be playing around the 4th arrow. The person that can control their speed the best and make the proper adjustments will conquer this tough PBA lane condition.
We pick up our wild card match of the PBA Las Vegas Open.
Here's the deal with Ricky. I mean, a guy that's made the telecast 3 weeks in a row, this guy's loose. You don't want to give him that kind of opening.
But he leaves the 7.
Right now, Ricky's reaction, especially on the right lane, doesn't look all that great with that ball he's using. First ball goes light. This ball does hit the pocket, but it's so weak when it gets there, because to me it looks like the ball's rolling too early and it's losing energy.
The spare ball.
Oh, we'll try that side 1 week.
Referring back to when he almost missed that 7-pin.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look here at Ricky Ward's form. He's going to add that little stutter step. Watch it. There's that half a step. Doesn't get the ball started until late. Now freeze frame. Ball's just above head high. Go ahead. Now watch this great finish. Freeze it. You see how balanced he is at the foul line. That's why he makes great shots.
Started from way over the right side this time, and he still leaves the 7, but you can see Ricky moving, trying to find that board.
To look empty.
That's going to work for him.
Well, here's the thing. Now, on the left lane, he goes solid 8. Or, I'm sorry, solid 9, ringing 7. That's where the 4-pin goes up and around. The right lane, he left that weak 7. That's where the 4-pin just kind of lays in the gutter. So his ball reaction looks much better on the left lane than it does on the right lane early on.
2 frames in a row, he's left the 7. Still hitting the 9-pin advantage.
He's getting real solid on those 7 pins, though, huh?
Well, Randy, I mean, we've had 1 strike so far in this game. Is it like you're just trying to figure out what you have to do? Because they had the practice beforehand. Both players were sanding their balls up until we went on the air. Are they still trying to feel the lanes out right now?
Well, I think it's a question of how good their ball reaction is, and obviously it doesn't look like it's all that great right now. Now, hopefully the lanes will break down and get a little bit better.
Come on now.
And the 7 is the pin du jour.
It's interesting, this match here, both guys, their ball speeds are very similar. As we look at our CAT system, both players right around 18.7, 19 miles an hour.
Well, Hugh has left 3 7s, and Ricky's left 2.
And they're both playing around the same part of the lane.
Mm-hmm. And he picks up the spare. Now, both players, though, they were different during practice. Hugh was more in the middle of the lane starting out. Ricky was more off to the side. Is Hugh starting to move over now?
Well, Ricky was deeper to start with, but he was throwing a ball that looked like had a lot more friction to it. Looked like he changed balls, went to something that went a little bit straighter, and he moved a little bit further to the right.
22 years since Hugh won his first title. Last show was in 1995 in Portland, Oregon. Lost to Norm Duke to finish 3rd in that tournament.
All right, that's the start of something very
You know it as soon as it leaves your hand, don't you? Now, Hugh Miller finally gets his 2nd strike of the game. It comes in the 5th frame, but he still trails by 9 pins to Ricky Ward. Our opening match, the wild card. Hugh Miller trying to take care of Ricky Ward. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Las Vegas Open. Along with Randy Peterson, I'm Ron Thulin. The 142 field is now down to the final 5, and despite not having a strike in this match, Ricky Ward leads by 19 pins because Hugh Miller has left 2 frames open. He left the 3rd and here in the 6th.
Never gets this ball far enough left of the 2 pin. Drives it straight back, leaving the 7.
And here's how Ricky Ward has done. He has been consistent, but he still is struggling, almost like last week.
Well, he went light here, pocket, 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 pocket. Doesn't have a strike to show for it. He's got 5-9 spares in a row. Right now, he's got the German bowling thing going on. 9-9.
9-9.
9-9.
Now, Hugh Miller has struggled, too. 2 open frames. He has a couple of strikes, and here's the 7th. He's working on a spare.
But I think the most important thing is that when Ricky misses, he misses light. Leaves himself something to make.
There we go. He's off the schneid, finally. After leaving 3 7s, he finally knocked everything down.
It's the Bulldog doing what he does best.
How is it, though, as a player, though, Randy? I mean, you're struggling, you're spare, but you're still leading. Is that a confidence builder, or is that something that you just have to scratch your head and just keep digging?
Well, I think you can relax a little bit because your opponent's not putting any pressure on you. You know, if Hugh Miller's striking a lot, obviously, you know, it's a different story, but, you know, he doesn't want to wait for him either.
Hugh Miller can only watch.
With a strike in the 8th, he can take a 29-pin lead.
And he does it. Oh, little wiggling.
But he's made some really good shots on the left lane. Just a terrible break.
Well, he can still muster a little bit of smile over it.
Watch the action of the head pin. All kinds of stuff going around over there by the 10.
And Ricky thinks he's got it.
He was ready to slap that one off.
For the spare, his 7th of the match. And he's got it. Here comes Hugh Miller. First time he's ever bowled here, believe it or not. You know, he said the inside shot, 4th arrow, that has been his forte throughout the week. Most of the lefties have done that. But he said in round number 3, he totally lost it against Brian Voss. He lost his carry, and he lost to Brian.
The key for Hugh Miller is using his legs, getting really low to get the ball rolling.
Come on.
Oh, you can't even beg that one down.
For crying out loud. You need to strike out.
Yes, you do, Hugh.
Oh, it's a good shot.
Was a good shot. A bad break leaving the shaker 5. Ball coming in just a pinch light. The 5 gets hit so many times it doesn't know what to do, so it just stands up.
Now, the last 5 years, bowled mostly regional events, leading money winner in his region and the rest. And he's got the spare, but he still trails by 20 pins. Right now, he's on a possible 205 if he's able to strike out. Ricky Ward, possible 215 if he strikes out. So it's still anybody's match. And And even though Hugh has struggled, I think on the bright side, you look and you say, I can still get in this thing.
Well, this is a big shot here in the 9th frame. It sets up the 10th frame.
And he's taking his time with it, too. Hugh Miller is a veteran. He's been around a long time. 15 years on the PBA Tour. Oh, just not meant to be.
Christ.
You know, that ball
Didn't we
drifts
see that enough times yesterday.
That ball drifts just a little bit high. He gets a terrible break, leaving both the 6 and the 8.
No, I think he's just waiting for it to start clicking. No, and it's just not.
Well, right now, he needs to slide the 6 into the 8.
Last title back in Beaumont, Texas in 1992. Won a doubles title with Parker Bone III.
Come on.
Third open frame. Well, when you have 3 open frames, Randy, chances are you are not going to win.
Well, it's looking really good on Ricky's side now. All Ricky has to do is just stay clean. Fill frames, spare in the 9th and the 10th. He's going to advance. He's got a boatload of 9 spares up there. 6 9 spares.
And he is in the 9th. Up by 33. Oh, the slow motion. It wasn't pretty, but that may be the first nail in that man's coffin.
Call the front desk. We have a spill on lane 12, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. All right. Yeah, got me a little wally.
Jeez.
I don't think anything was going to fall down. It was slow going down. In the 10th, though, Ricky working only 2 strikes in this match. And he only needs 4 pins, and this is over. And he's got it with the stubborn 10.
Never mind, just forget it.
Never mind. Just
Ricky, you're advancing, partner. Now, Ricky Ward will advance to the 2nd round. It wasn't pretty, but he will advance. Once again, the winner a couple of weeks ago, 3rd straight television final. He's on the Walter Ray Williams Jr. Tour, trying to get like 5, 6 in a row here, isn't he?
Yeah.
And Hugh Miller, his first TV final in a while. He falls victim to Ricky Ward. Ricky Ward already over $100,000 on the tour this season. He's trying to get up his 2nd win in 3 weeks. Coming up next, match number 2. Jason Couch, Brian Voss. And we welcome you back to the Orleans Hotel, Casino, and Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada for the Las Vegas Open. 1 match is in the books. Voss and Couch waiting in the wings. They are coming up next, and we're going to be joined by a Hall of Famer himself, Parker Bone III, for the first half of this match. How come you're not out here?
Thanks, Ron. Well, you have to knock a few more pins over than I did this week, so.
Hey, Parker, listen, you're the leading money winner this year, and it is Vegas, and I could use a loan.
I'll get right on top of that, Randy.
Thanks,
for
man. I
you.
appreciate it.
Parker will be with us the first half of this match, and we're glad to have him part of our telecast as we get ready for our semifinals. Jason Couch, Brian Voss. Couch, the number 3 seed, Voss, the number 2 seed, and Brian is going to be up first, the 43-year-old living just outside of Atlanta. Boy, Brian, you know, Parker, talking to Brian before the match, he spent some time in the last couple of weeks really working on his slide, working on his stroke. He comes in focused for this.
I'll tell you what, Brian hasn't made a show in obviously quite a few tournaments here, and I think he's going to be strong.
Well, his first show was our first telecast of the new season in Peoria. But, you know, here's an interesting note, Parker, we just got from Paul Kaler, our statistician. Jason doesn't have the same look that he's had all week. Switched to a ball that skids a little bit further.
Yes! Okay, this is the way you open it up, huh?
Maybe tell us about why he would do that, Parker.
Well, Jason was saying that the lanes were a little tighter down the lane. So even though he went to a ball that skids a little bit further, he's probably looking to keep it on line a little bit longer and keep the pocket in play. And I'll tell you, him playing a 5th arrow, he gets it going. He's going to be strong, too.
That's how he got to the semifinals, defeating Brian Alpert 3-0. Was a very impressive match last night. Comes in on a hot streak. The number 5 ranked player on the PBA Tour, over $67,000 won, but his first television finals in the new format. Parker, I think what stands out, first of all, is that Jason Couch seems to be playing so far inside, but he seems more comfortable playing that far inside.
He really does. Jason on the left side has definitely got the power game that a lot of left-handers do not have. And he falls into his forte when he gets in around 4th or 5th arrow.
It's advantage Jason Couch. He's 10 boards left of where Ricky and Hugh Miller were in the match before. I'm sorry, 10 boards right.
Well, he knew it. So Jason Couch opens up, strike spare. Brian Voss opened up with a strike in the first.
I get that left-right thing confused sometimes, Parker. Just work with me here.
20 career titles, the PBA Player of the Year in 1988, 1994 was into the Hall of Fame.
Whoa.
That got his attention.
Yes, it did.
Little curtain fall down there, no big deal.
Not a problem.
Reset that.
Currently number 5 on the PBA's all-time money-winning list.
I think the thing that you really need to watch with Brian Voss's swing is how short and compact his swing is. And when you're bowling on a long, lengthy lane condition, very easy to control your speed. Oh, it's a great shot.
That was a great shot for ring and 10.
Wouldn't you agree? I mean, you have a high backswing like Jason. It would seem to me that it would be very hard to throw it slow. Much easier to throw it
most people
real hard.
say that was your fault, but see, I'm a nice guy. It was not your fault.
Brian talking with the crowd, saying, don't worry, it wasn't your fault that I had that. And you can see what he has done. You know, I think in match play, or I may be mistaken, but I don't think Brian had a game under 200 this whole tournament. That's how consistent he is bowling.
I'll tell you what, though, you got to look at what Randy's pointed out to. The fact that he can keep his ball swing that much lower, he keeps his speed under much better control, I'll say, than Jason is at the beginning, and that enables the ball to read the lane a lot better.
You know, and Randy, we were talking to him beforehand. He talked about the dozen hours or so he spent on the Cat's lane, just the video lane, just trying to look at his stroke and find out what has been wrong the last couple of years.
And the thing that he really found out about, he needed to work on his footwork, in particular his third step.
Well, in our first match, the 7 hung around a lot. We had 7 sevens left during the match, but in this one, it's 10.
3 good shots, 3 shots that hit the pocket. And looking at the Cat system, his ball speed is identical 3 shots in a row, only varying by 0.2 of a mile an hour. Very, very accurate early on. And again, it's real easy for Brian to control his speed.
Speed is definitely going to be critical, especially when it comes to carry.
Let's take a look at some of the other finishers in the tournament. And it's Voss and Couch right now, locked up in a pretty decent battle. You'll be able to see them on the bottom of your screen. And you'll see where my broadcast partner finished and also where Parker finished. Good tournament, though. 142 started out. And the round of 16. This is where they ended up. Well, now is Jason questioning the way he's throwing the ball and where he's lining up.
Well, early on, it doesn't look like he's got a very good line to the pocket. But I mean, Parker, you know, throughout the week when you had trouble getting to the pocket, I mean, what was the cause? What was the main factor why you couldn't get the ball to the 1-2?
Main factor was when the lane started to get tighter in the back end. Jason and me were talking about it earlier, and he said that as the carry down got there, his carry really diminished and his pocket percentage started to decrease. So it's really imperative for him to get lined up and get to the 1-2 and figure out some carry along the way.
So what do you do when you carry the oil down, when you get that carry down?
Usually you look for a ball that's going to pick up a little bit more on the back end. Jason has actually gone the other way because the lanes are too tight, and he's actually trying to keep it on line longer.
Now, short patterns have bothered Jason in the past, have they not?
But this isn't a short pattern, Ron. This is a long pattern. This is at least 3 feet longer than we bowled on last week, and the longest pattern of the second half of the new season.
You know, Randy, when we look at his stroke, he has asked for a re-rack, and he's getting it. Is the key to his stroke right now the first 2 steps? Because he really doesn't want to get too long, does he?
Well, Parker, I think, should answer that. You used to room with him, and you know his game better than anyone.
He's really trying to tone it down right now. And if he keeps his ball speed down, he keeps them steps under control and figures out what he needs to do to get that ball to the
looks good.
Just like that.
And I think what's interesting to note is that, Ron, you touched on it, the fact that he's working on his first 2 steps. The next time Jason comes back up, we'll watch what he does with his first steps. His feet never leave the approach. He shuffles his first 2. That keeps him nice and short.
He doesn't want to get too steep either on that swing.
It's not. He's shuffling those first 2 steps, and he's really delaying his push away, and it's bringing it down. It's lowering his ball speed.
We'll talk about a totally different stroke. Here's Brian Voss leading by 11. That finds the pocket sweet.
Brian gives it that disgusted look. But that was a great, I mean, that was a great shot.
horrible.
That ball should strike.
That was horrible.
That was horrible.
This one won't
It
be
looked
horrible.
good from here, Brian.
They all went down, Brian.
Tell you what, when they all fall down for me, I'm liking life.
I'm going to say, you'd expect, what's the old line? You'd expect Raquel Welch to cook?
I won't throw any of them back.
Take a look at the speed, and this is pretty solid here. All 4 shots hitting the pocket.
First TV final since September in Peoria, as Randy mentioned, where he finished third.
Shot.
You know, Ron Parker, Brian told me last night that he loved the lane condition.
Well, he's got a 21-pin advantage. Here's the footwork and the shot.
See, what he worked on was that third step. He said it was going too far to the left. Worked on getting it to go much straighter. Speed, board.
See if Jason Couch could get untracked here in the 5th.
Look how deep he is.
He's in there.
His laydown area is about the third board from the right gutter.
He's further right now than I am when I shoot a 7-pin.
He's like playing where I play when I'm trying to pipe it straight up 5.
He's really moving around. He's trying to find that spot.
He's definitely playing in there, fine-tuning it. And honestly, look for Jason to have a strong close here towards the end of the game.
Such a powerful player. He feeds off the energy on match play. He's really learned to harness this energy.
I think the big thing about watching Jason Couch and all that power is the way he obtains or the way he creates that power. He said he keeps his hand as relaxed as he possibly can, so that he can get that kind of that snap effect at the bottom of the swing. That's what generates all those revolutions in power. Throwing the weight of the bowling ball from your thumb to your fingers. And the only way you can do that is by having a nice soft grip. Wouldn't you agree, Parker?
Yeah. Jason doesn't grab it like I would. He's definitely relaxing his hand. And when it gets to the bottom of his swing, he has got full power forward with those fingertips.
Look at
There
that.
we go.
Like that.
The man who has tournament of champions, a couple of wins, back-to-back TFC titles.
He got the best of that rack.
Yeah, he got all of that, Rack.
Still trailing by 23 pins. Parker, thanks for spending some time with us. We'll see you in Dallas in a week.
All right, Ron, thanks. I'll look forward to it.
Right now, it is Jason Couch trailing Brian Voss. Will return to Las Vegas, Nevada for the Las Vegas Open in a moment. Brian Voss looking for his first title since 1998, currently with a 23-pin advantage over Jason Couch. Is Brian now bowling in the 6th? And you know what was interesting is the different strokes of these two guys.
We'll take a look at Brian and Jason's different styles here. Brian's got a 5-step approach. Shoulder high backswing. Okay, freeze it right there, guys. All right, now roll Jason Couch. I'll take a look at Jason Couch here. Kind of drops it down into the swing early. Now stop. Look at the difference I had that backswing. This actually is going to go up even higher. Going to go up even higher. The swing's going to get almost vertical. Go ahead and roll Brian Voss. Now watch the finish here. Brian is a little more up and down here. Go ahead and roll Jason Couch. A lot more sideways lean this way. Brian a little straighter up and down. This is power. This is stroke.
You know what was interesting? During the commercial break, Brian Voss was working on his slide. He was out on the lanes. He was walking around, never sat down, Randy, and he was visualizing his stroke, talking to himself a lot. Because of the break, he wanted to continue to stay mentally in this match.
It's got to hurry.
It didn't.
Well, what he means by it's got to hurry
show
is...
that was 1 mile an hour fast.
Okay, we'll find
Randy,
out in a minute.
You got to tell us if it was. We'll look at our...
It was about the same, but what I think what happened was it got off of Brian's hand poorly, and if you don't have roll, the ball is going to, it's not going to adhere to the lane, it's going to go faster. But the speed was exactly the same. When you say, when you hear Brian or Jason say it's got to hurry, that means they need it to hook in the back end. Got to get up to the 1-3 pocket, or the 1-2 if you're Jason Couch.
You know, talking to Brian prior to this match, the look in his eye was one that we had seen in years past. The money's great, the trophy's great, but I think Brian just wants that feeling of winning again.
I agree with you 100%, Ron. He wants to feel what it's like to win again. Brian comes in light on both the right and left lane, catching the good break there, only leaving the 2-8.
Fast again.
So he's still talking about his speed, but
you know what? His ball speed could be the same. His foot speed could increase or be faster. If he's saying that was faster, maybe he means his foot speed. That ball was not faster according to our CAT system.
Still leading by 20.
Good shot.
Good spare.
You know, a player gets rushed doesn't mean they automatically throw it faster. If their feet get faster, doesn't mean they throw it faster.
Well, Brian knows that the opportunity was there to really put some pressure on Jason Couch. And, you know, everybody asks why Jason hasn't been in a TV final. Isn't it more like a marathon runner in the old format? He started slow, started to build up. But in this new format, you got to be a sprinter.
Well, you got to be a marathoner first and then a sprinter. And Jason likes the marathon.
Carry!
Oh.
You gotta be kidding me.
He knew that he put two great shots together.
He is almost in the trough.
He's laying the ball down about the third board on the right side of the lane. Take a look at this. Oh, just about the second board, 32nd board. There's only 34 boards on the lane. I'm sorry, 39 boards on the lane.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody over that.
39 boards, he's using 37 of them.
Like that.
Brian Voss, the concentration continues. He is in the zone right now. And he has the advantage over Jason Couch. Still up by 20 over Couch. Jason, one of the most powerful players on this tour. Of course, a win in this match will put him over $1 million in his career, break Pete Weber's record of 10 years and 253 tournaments by 2 tournaments.
Likes the left lane.
Terrible.
Let go of it and kick the approach. He knew it was wide left.
Not on this pattern, buddy.
Well, he's talking about the pattern. What's he mean by it, Randy?
Well, he's got obviously a different look today than he's had all week long. For whatever reason, 3 left-handers bowling on the same pair of lanes. They broke the lanes down differently. His ball reaction's different.
Currently number 2 on the PBA Tour with an average of just over 220. Barely trailing Parker Bone III, who was our guest just a moment ago.
Jason has enough TV experience to know that the lane conditions aren't always the same on TV than they are, you know, for the week. And that's a mistake.
He knows it. Well, he's on pace for a possible 192. Brian Voss on pace if he strikes out for a 236. So now the door is open for Brian Voss, trying to get back in the winner's circle on the tour.
And right now, Parker Bone just pointed out the guys that are staying clean are the guys that are winning. The guys staying out of trouble.
Well, you spoke too soon, partner.
Ooh. And I think that's residue of the shot previous on that right lane that got light. The last 2 shots went light. He said, too fast, too fast. That was definitely slower. Went right through the heart, leaving the Greek church.
Well, both players with open frames now here in the 8th. Brian still holding on to that slim advantage as we head to the final 2 frames, only 17 pins ahead of Jason Couch. This one is getting tight.
It's all going to boil down to who performs in the 9th and 10th frame. Tough lane condition. You got to be careful, but you still got to execute. You can't aim.
That'll help. You know, Brian made a great point. He said he beat Pete Weber last night to get into this, which helped him get into the finals. He said that was huge, a confidence builder. There you can see the feet together on the approach.
Brian playing around the 22nd board, 23rd board. That was a great strike there. Brian Voss going at a 189 pace. Jason Couch can strike out for 192.
Be the most important ball for Jason Couch, and he doesn't get it.
Right now, Jason's fighting his reaction.
Love it.
You know, and it's a terrible feeling to when you get up to try to throw a strike, when you feel that you can't leak it an inch to the right or an inch to the left. Obviously, his reaction during the week much better.
Well, he said he's been bowling the best this week since the format change. He's been solid all week, but boy, today he has just had to struggle, leaving the 3rd open, left the 8th open.
Well, I think that Jason has a chance to strike out here in the 10th frame on the left line. I think he feels a little more comfortable in that lane. And if he does strike out, he will force Brian to mark. Keep him honest.
Stranger things have happened.
Keep him honest.
Voss continues the concentration.
Jason standing all the way against the ball return.
They may do it.
Well, no reaction for Jason today. When you have a bad ball reaction run, a lot of times it just forces you into making bad shots. You feel like you're handcuffed.
Well, they'll have to probably wait another week till we get to Dallas, to the Don Carter Lanes West, to see if he'll become a millionaire. He'll fall short, barring some unforeseen miracle.
Yeah.
Brian Voss will need 6 pins now in the 10th.
Well, Brian's going to get 6 pins in the 10th in 2 balls.
I would
Don't
have
kid
to
yourself.
think so. Jason Couch, a disappointing finish to what has been a wonderful week for him here in Las Vegas.
Have to wait another week to go over the million. He lofted that one to try to delay the hook, and it's still hooked high.
Jason is not pleased with his performance, as one would expect, because he is such a dynamite competitor. Now here's Brian Voss, and only needs 5 pins for the victory. That'll do it.
Here's your winner.
Here's our winner. Brian Voss has advanced to the finals. Well, Jason Couch will have to wait 1 week to reach that $1 million status, but Brian Voss, looking for his first title in a long time, will be bowling for it. But our next semifinal match is coming up. We've got the rookie from Greenville, South Carolina. The Las Vegas Open has come down to the final 3 bowlers, because Brian Voss has advanced with a 195 over Jason Couch, 167. Let's take a look at our Alka-Seltzer brackets. Update you. Brian Voss, the winner. And now the rookie Tommy Jones will be taking on Ricky Ward. The winner will take on Brian Voss for the first place prize check of $40,000. Now, Randy, let's talk about the fact that Ricky Ward has already bowled on the conditions that have obviously stymied a couple of the players. Is that an advantage for him over the rookie Tommy Jones?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the reaction on the left side doesn't look very good, and we haven't seen Tommy Jones throw a shot yet.
Oh, yeah. Ricky Ward looking to make the necessary adjustments here in the opening game. Tell you what, he had a ball change too since that opening game.
Excuse me. You're right. He went from a ball that doesn't hook quite as much or quite as early. But if I was Tommy Jones, I wouldn't want to be going against Ricky Ward. I mean, the guy's made 3 telecasts in a row. He's got all that money. His swing's loose. You know, he's the guy that's going to be making the good shots. Tommy's got to get his emotions into check early on.
Just 23 years old out of Greenville, South Carolina. Good way to start for the rookie. The last rookie to win on the PBA Tour is back in 1984, believe it or not. John Gant, a lefty, Denver, Colorado. That seems like a long time. That's a pretty hefty record there, and this young man would love to change all that. See how he got here, defeated Steve Wilson in the round of 32, then had that excellent match against Richie Allen in the round of 8. Had difficulty versus Richie Allen, finally winning on the 5th and final game by just 2 pins.
Take a good look at this power player.
Oh,
that's a nice break.
Better be lucky than good. He's been bowling out of high school. He said as soon as he got out of high school, he knew this was what he wanted to do for his living. But he's a talented athlete. He's a young man, played baseball, and he's done a number of great golfer, hits it a long way. Powerful spare for Tommy Jones, our #1 seed. He spent some time resanding his ball during the practice. And here's Ricky Ward. You can see what he has done so far, over $500,000 to go along with the 6 PBA Tour titles, and he was Rookie of the Year in '91, something Tommy Jones would love to have in 2002. Ooh. Trying to pull the trigger on it.
You see what Ricky Ward's made this year in that graphic? I think last year there was only 2 players to make over $100,000 run for the year. This year I think we have 8, and we still have 7 tournaments left. That just goes to show you how much added money there is on the tour now.
And Ricky, the proud daddy of Hannah, who was born back on June 1st, to his wife Lisa, and to Ricky. Changes your life a little bit when you have a 7-month-old, doesn't it?
Sure does. Ricky loves to fish and drag race. He's been to my house on the east coast of Florida. We fished together. Fishing fanatic.
Very confident coming into this match.
And he's got a lot of money to buy the bait.
Boy, he does now. I'd make sure he picks up the bait and lunch, Randy.
All right, ball change, left lane. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Went to a ball change and is going much more direct than he did his first match.
Maybe it was an advantage to bowl early on here.
Yeah.
Fiery player. One of the most versatile players on the tour right now, and the rookie, Tommy Jones.
Sweet.
He's not going to get that kind of luck. Best finish this year was 9th at the Johnny Petraglia Open in North Brunswick, New Jersey for Tommy Jones. They call him Buckshot.
Shots.
Not after the NASCAR driver, I don't think, but Del Ballard gave him that moniker. Had the 300 game this week, as you saw. Well, footwork is obviously a very important factor of Tommy Jones's game. Now let's take a look at the Dexter footwork of the pros with Tommy Jones.
My Dexter solution for the week was the #2 heel with the #2 sole. Being a power player, I don't like to slide a lot. This week, the approaches were synthetic. I found them to be a little slippery, and this gave me the stability I needed to make good shots.
And that's this week's Dexter footwork of the pros with Tommy Jones, our rookie. Big difference, too, between a power player and just a stroker.
Let me tell you something. That combination that he's putting on the bottom of his slide shoe, it's like putting rubber on the bottom of your shoe.
He doesn't want to slide at all. Huh?
You're not going to slide a whole lot.
Well, you can see it right there.
That was a nice break, but it was also a really good shot that he threw there. The last 2 shots looked like he grabbed a little bit at the bottom, and on this condition, this PBA sport condition, you can't pinch it at release.
And what do you mean by pinching it at the release?
You can't grab it. You got to let go of it. You got to stroke through it. You got to just let go and trust that the ball is going to be on line. Easier said than done.
22 for 22 on single pin spare conversions this week for Tommy Jones. And Ricky Ward now with the advantage here as he bowls in the 4th frame.
And one of the things we talk about, don't pinch or don't grab. Ricky Ward's finger holes are so sharp. Mm-hmm. It's like taking the ball and taking it right out of the drill press. Very difficult for him to grab it. He's got to open the hand at release.
Whoa, baby! Yes, Voss.
What do you think, Ron? Ricky find a little line here that...
I think the Bulldog's out, big guy. You know, we talk about the difference between Brian Voss and Jason Couch as we look at the reaction of Ricky. There's a big difference between Tommy Jones and Ricky Ward. Ricky, medium amount of revs, very adaptable, very versatile.
And Tommy Jones is the big power player. You know, you look at the difference, the back swings, the body posture at the foul line. The more the player leans left or right, the more power, the bigger the hook ball they throw, because you have to do that to get the ball to go from left to right or right to left.
Going to go up by 22, not able to do it.
You know, the straighter, the more up and down a player is at the foul line, the straighter type of shot he's going to throw.
Mm-hmm. Well, he said that was flat.
Flat meaning the ball didn't have a lot of energy when it hit the pocket. Didn't have enough energy to get that 4-pin to go into the sidewall and cut the 7 out.
How does he get that extra energy?
Well, the ball's got to pick up a little bit sooner, or he's got to snap on it or hit it a little bit harder, increase the rev rate.
Ricky Ward trying to win his second tournament in 3 weeks, and right now he holds on to an 11-pin advantage over Tommy Jones, the winner, advancing against Brian Voss. Will it be Ricky Ward, or will it be the rookie Jones?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Midway through the 7th frame, things are tightening up as Tommy Jones holding on to a 1-pin advantage. And why does he have that 1-pin advantage? Well, while we were away, Tommy got in the strike column with a couple in the 5th and 6th, Randy.
Well, watch the awesome power. Tommy Jones right here just saws the 10.5. This ball's going to be light. Yeah! Massive mixer. 1-pin lead.
He's starting to feel the confidence right now. You can just see it starting to brew in this young man. First television final.
He made 2 good shots back-to-back. See if he can duplicate a couple more just like those.
Well, he said he likes the pair of lanes they're bowling on. He says he thinks that this pair should help him. He's bowled on them well this week.
Said his keys this week were being patient and making good shots. That was really good. Watch his hand at the point of release, Ron, how it rotates around the side of the ball to get at the hook in the back end.
Now, will the veteran answer the challenge of the rookie? Here it is, what you're talking about, Randy.
Take a look at this. Hand rotates around it. Look at that snap. That's how you create revolutions. His rev rate is 500. That's RPMs out of his hand.
That's Jason Couchish.
That's Jason Couch area. And you know what? Right. He's got more in the tank. He's holding back a little bit right now to keep the ball in line. Right now we've got a little mechanical issue.
Well, you know, Randy, each and every week we try to go to our email and try to find out a question from the PBA website to be answered on the air. And this week, Walt Briscoe of Easton, Pennsylvania, emailed, wants to know, how do the pros line up when they move to a new pair of lanes during a tournament and they don't get any practice shots? Randy, I'm going to be nice and let you answer this.
Well, thanks, Ron. I appreciate
that. No problem.
Well, the ticket is this. When you're going from one pair of lanes to the next, you play the next pair of lanes the same. You got to make a great shot in your first shot on each lane. Otherwise, you don't get a correct read. You don't know where to go. Play the lanes the same, go to the next pair. Another good shot. Oh.
Well, 3 in a row. And by the way, for having his question selected, our good friend Walt wins a prize package from the PBA. Now, if you'd like to leave a question, all you have to do is visit the PBA website, pba.com. Go to the community page on your left-hand side, click on TV question link, and let us know. Once again, pba.com. I go on it every day. I'd like to see the reaction. I'm going to give a question one of these weeks.
Oh, God. All right. Great shot by Tommy Jones, cross-line the 10-pin. He's got a 10-pin lead.
And right now, Ricky Ward, who had 8 spares in the first game, he had 9 on his last ball in the 10th, so it could have been really 8 altogether. Right now, he has 4 spares, 3 strikes, working on a spare here in the 7th. Can he answer the challenge?
Does some of his best bowling when he's trailing. Again, that ball hits weak.
Well, you know, he left 3 7s in the first game. He's left 3 7s here in the second game. At least he's consistent.
Well.
Why is that, do you think? Because that is the pin that seems to be giving him the major problem.
Well, you know, I think you got to analyze what kind of 7-pin he's leaving. He's leaving what we call a weak 7. That's where the 4-pin's laying in the gutter instead of going to the sidewall, cutting it out. And the reason why it's doing that is because the ball doesn't have enough power when it gets to the pocket. Not enough back end, lack of entry angle.
When he picks it up.
Getting better at them.
You know, ironically, Ron, Ricky and Tommy Jones's ball speed is just about identical.
Okay.
But Tommy's rev rate is about 100 to 120 RPMs higher. Therefore, he leaves the ring in 10.
Now or
Ricky
never.
leaves the weak 7. I think Ricky's doing a pretty good job of just hitting the pocket.
Well, now it's time for him. During our commercial break, he was talking about slowing down and staying clean. He kept mentioning it to himself numerous occasions. There you go. Well, if he continues that, he'll get to 226. Jones on pace for a 237 if he strikes out, but Ricky now trailing by just 11 pins. It's Tommy Jones, the rookie.
20 miles an hour, given us by the CAT system, the computer-aided tracking system. That ball's perfectly dead flush, and we get all our great information from the Kegel Training Center in Sebring, Florida, a facility second to none in the world. Now, Tommy Jones, 11-pin lead, 9th frame.
He could have really put the pressure on Ricky Ward.
Well, you know, the important thing right now is Tommy's making the shots he needs to make. He's hitting the pocket. All right, you know, he can live with that ring and 10 there. He makes the spare. He strikes out. He forces Ricky Ward to strike out to tie.
The winner, of course, faces the Hall of Famer, Brian Voss. Perfect this week on the single pin spare conversions.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, whatever Tommy Jones does in the 10th frame, he can control his own destiny. 3 strikes on the 10th, he will force Ricky Ward to strike out. Anything less, Ricky can strike out to win.
Now, this young man has answered the challenge so far today, no problem. Experienced in international competition.
First time on TV, he's pulled a fantastic game.
Absolutely.
And just 3 identical ringing 10s. All right, here's the deal. Make the spare. Fill 10 on your fill shot, get a strike. Force Ricky Ward to get 2 strikes in the 10th to win. Ricky gets the first strike, 9 spare. We have a tie.
Well, the first thing he has to do now is pick up the 10. Ricky knows the situation. One more ball now for Tommy Jones. Boy, a strike.
Come on, get the ball.
Monumental. This young man has shown, like we saw Brett Wolf last week, ice water in the veins. The veteran looks at the rookie.
This is a big shot here.
Through.
Finally carries a 10. It's up to Ricky Ward now. He needs 2 strikes to advance. If he doesn't strike on the first ball, Tommy Jones will advance.
And the reaction, just grateful. Still a possibility of a tie between these two, but a double would put that aside. There's one.
Damn right! Take that! Got you little rat bastard!
That's just an unbelievable break, especially what's happened to Tommy Jones. 3 ring and 10s in a row. This ball goes right through the face, caves in the big 4.
Last time I did, I struck the last time he told me that.
What a huge break.
Let's get 2 shot clock violation.
Struck.
Take my time on this shot.
Ricky Ward worried about a shot clock violation.
Shot clock violation, it levies a fine.
Well, he's had that problem a couple of weeks ago, too. He's got it.
Damn! Right!
What a
Take
comeback.
Unbelievable.
What a comeback by Ricky Ward. Trailing by 11 pins going into the final couple of frames. And he is our winner. Didn't exactly hit the pocket flush, though, Randy. And the reaction of Ricky Ward. Ricky Ward finishes up with a bang. It'll be Ricky Ward looking for his 2nd title in 3 weeks. Brian Voss looking for his 21st in his career. Ricky Ward advances to the finals, 225 to 215. Our finals are set. Ricky Ward looking for his 7th PBA title, and Brian Voss looking for his 1st since 1998. It's Ward and Voss for $40,000 next. Last night at the ESPN Zone in New York, the players like Brian Voss in our championship round had a little duck pin competition. Everybody got into it already.
Rudy Kazamakis and Patrick Allen imitating Rudy Kazamakis. It's hysterical.
Duck pins are a little harder, but now it is Ward and Voss for the championship. $40,000 at stake. We've already had a little gamesmanship between these two. Brian Voss had the choice who goes first. He is allowing Ricky Ward to do it. And the proprietor here, of course, is Mike Moniak, our good friend, our director of bowling operations for Coast Properties. Of course, the Orleans, one of the many properties here, the Barbary Coast, the Gold Coast, and the Sun Coast. All here in Vegas, and Ricky Ward's going to go first. Little strategy there by Brian Voss, huh?
Well, Brian's going to play the deep inside line. If he were to start the match, he would have to finish on the right lane, and he would be up against the ball return.
Well, Ricky Ward picking up where he left off in the last game, leading 2 in the 10th. He got it. And now here is Brian Voss.
Getting back to that shot clock violation by Ricky Ward, the first offense is a $100 fine. The second offense is a $500 fine. You have 25 seconds from the time the ball leaves your hand, hits the pins, and comes back through the ball return to pick it up and throw it.
Only his second game under 200 this week. Next time I follow is Jason Couch. He is smooth. You know, we mentioned at the top of the show, when you said it about Brian Voss, Brian is just not sure how many more opportunities he's going to get. He's only 43 years old, and we can see what he's done in his career, over $1.8 million, 20 PBA titles. He's 18th in the world. But Brian Voss knows that this may be one of the few left.
Well, I think what's tough for Brian is that when you're at the top of a sport like he was for so long, and you don't compete quite as well as you used to, it begins to wear on you mentally.
No.
That's the last thing.
No.
Exactly. No. That's the last thing you want to have happen, especially in a title match. You don't want to leave that pocket 7-10.
He was doing everything he can to get that to fall down. Back in 1999, Brian had a string of 12 consecutive years that he won a title. Snap. Broken hand that year. Was closing in on Earl Anthony's record of 14 straight years. So strike spare for Brian Voss here in the opening frames. Ricky Ward, the 1991 PBA Rookie of the Year. 99 was his best year prior to this season. Well, interesting. Both bowlers wearing the same shirts. Both bowlers using the same ball.
And Ricky not fortunate enough to trip that 6 or that 8 pin out, leaving the 6-8.
Speed has been consistent, though.
Got to get the ball to the right of the 6 pin, slide it over into the 8.
Nope. I'd like to show you our upcoming events. Of course, next week we'll be at the Don Carter's All-Star Lanes West in Dallas, Texas. Of course, our telecast gets underway at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Then we'll head to North Carolina for the PBA Columbia 300 Tar Heel Open. And, of course, the regional events coming up. The Astro Bowl in San Antonio, Texas, February 1st through 3rd. We have to stop by there.
Your backyard.
By
the way, the great Dick Weber won a senior regional event last week.
For the titles.
Ooh. Nice shot there, coming off of that unfortunate break in the second frame.
You know, you talk about the talent of these two players, but let's talk about the mental toughness, and you can see it in Ricky Ward here on this shot.
19.6 miles an hour, 22nd board, the deep inside line. That time the 6 pin goes, or the 4 pin goes to the wall and cuts the 7 out.
He's been about 19.6 the whole night.
Very, very consistent speed. That's what it takes out on the PBA Tour.
Brian answering the challenge.
It's one thing to be accurate, but it's another thing to have real great command of ball speed. Brian Voss does it as good as anybody out on tour, and obviously Ricky Ward, much in the same boat, as do all our players that make the telecast. Speed control, accuracy, repeating shots. That's what it takes to win out here.
Strike percentage this week for Brian Voss, the best of all the finalists, 65%.
After 3 frames, both players have hit the pocket every shot.
Come on! Yeah!
2 in a row for Brian Voss. He goes up by 22 pins. Well, he hesitated.
Brian Voss's ball speed has been absolutely perfect on each lane. Both shots on the right lane, exactly the same ball speed. Both shots on the left lane, the same. A little faster on the right lane than he is on the left. 1 mile an hour faster.
Ricky, you left the second open.
Okay.
When you're sitting on the bench like Brian is, there's nothing better that you could ever lay your eyes on than your opponent not striking.
Brian continuing to talk to himself.
Some players like their opponents to keep the heat on them, Ron, you know, strike and have this slugfest going back and forth. Well, that was fine when I was a younger guy, but when I got towards the latter part of my career, I really enjoyed it when they didn't bowl good. and I didn't have to shoot 240 or 50 to win.
Well, you know, funny you should say that, because Brian Voss was telling me that exact same thing tonight. He said, you know, I like it when I'm playing somebody I know who's good, who's got a great attitude, who's going to go out there mano a mano, just one-on-one. He said that makes him bowl better. It seems to push him a little more. I'd like it the easy way with you, though.
I like the easy way.
All right, now Ricky Ward trailing by 22 pins. That cuts the lead.
He's locked in on the left lane.
He's just going to get the right leg going.
Well, he went high that first shot, left the 6-8. Next shot comes back and goes light.
Brian working on 2 in a row.
Same thing.
You hear Brian just said the same thing.
You can see how long it's been since he has won. For Ricky Ward, it's only been 2 weeks.
That was a little too much knuckle.
Okay, what did he mean by that?
Spin.
Oh, here's,
Spin
of course, the all-time tour championships. You can see Brian Voss with 20. My broadcast partner's got 12.
You hear Brian, what he said was he knuckled that shot. His hand rotated too much around the side, creating more spin than roll. Ball didn't grab the lane enough to dive into the pocket and carry the 10 out. And I think the Achilles heel for Brian Voss the last couple of years, Ron, has been his inability to make big shots under pressure. Be interesting to see what happens towards the latter part of this match.
Well, we're halfway home now, and the pressure is building on Brian Voss.
No spin here, you gotta catch this. Gotta catch this. Got a hook a little bit, well, a little bit of help.
He got a little bit of help, and his lead is now up to 31 pins for Brian Voss in the championship match.
No spin biscuit on that one.
Brian Voss up by 21 pins. In the final, the winner, $40,000. As we take a look at the score, and you can see this, the frame by frame, the speed and the arrows for Ricky Ward, very consistent.
Look how great he is at his ball speed. Right around the same target every shot.
But first, third, and fifth frame, he has struck. But now during the commercial break, he was laying on the floor checking the oil pattern.
What happens when your ball goes down the lane on synthetic lanes is it makes streaks in the lane. And Ricky is looking at those streaks, trying to determine the best place for him to play on the lane.
Trails by 21, working on the strike, and cut it to 11 with a strike.
And this is the lane that Ricky really needs to get zeroed in on. What a great shot. What a great shot there, Ron.
Pressure.
Goes 6-8, comes back after leaving the 6-8 on that lane, goes light. Very common. Players do that. You know, they overanalyze a shot or maybe make too big of an adjustment, and he comes back and dead flushes it. You know he's zeroed in on the left lane.
Whoever wins this will break a streak of 2 consecutive years that Ryan Schaefer has won here at the Las Vegas Open.
Just to tell you how accurate Ricky Ward is, 21st board, 22nd board, 22nd board, 22nd board, 21st, 21st.
Brian, the pesky 7.
Yada, 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 yada.
You know, talk about how difficult it was for these
good
two
lane,
players
you
to
gotta
get
do
to this
that.
final. It took a 2:11 average to get to the final
Got nothing to do
64,
with
an average of
20,000 on the
2:15 to
line,
get to the
40
final of
title.
32.
Oh, good
You
shot.
put that in context. In the course of the week, they're lifting 5 tons, carrying it 2 miles, throwing it 700 times. These two men have done yeoman's work this week to get to the finals.
Two good athletes, great athletes in their sport.
Yo, baby.
When we talk about that 22nd
Dead
board,
center.
whether it's left-hander or right-hander, that's 2 boards left or right of the middle arrow.
Brian to go up by 22 with a strike.
Got a fake. Oh,
Wow. What a terrible break. You heard Brian say it had to fade. That meant that the ball was going to go a little bit high.
Didn't fade, though.
Well, that ball strikes 99% of the time. Oh,
no. Got a hook a little bit. It did not.
Oh, my.
Oh, BV.
An open in the 7th for Brian Voss, and the door is open for Ricky Ward.
No more freebies.
What happened?
well, it's just a blown spare. Brian will be the first to tell you it's unexcusable. This is an even match now.
You gotta catch this. Catch this.
Just an inexcusable time for an open frame. Brian doesn't miss single pin spares. You said he was perfect all week long, single pin spares. Needs the hook.
Well, the 10 got a nudge, but not big enough. Now Ricky Ward has jumped over to the driver's seat. Boy, how big will that 7th frame look for Brian Voss?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. But, I mean, this match is still even. Brian makes a spare here. An interesting note, Ricky Ward has to finish on what I think is the tougher of the two lanes for him, the right lane.
That's right. So maybe Brian's strategy at the beginning is going to pay off at the end. We'll wait and see.
Anybody's ball game.
We're even. Ricky in the 8th.
Championship match, $40,000 for first. So far in this championship round and this throughout the tournament and on TV, Ricky's the only guy getting the breaks. We saw him cave in the big 4 pocket against Tommy Jones. Now he gets the trip 6-pin.
And it's on the right side, too. Acting for a re-rack on the left. This is to go up 10 with the strike.
Ricky Ward can strike out for 227. The best Brian Voss can do is 217. Oh. And again, a good break, not leaving the split. That could have been the big 4 easy, the 4, 6, 7,
good
10.
lane get away from you.
And he doesn't strike on his good lane. Advantage Brian Voss, I think.
I think you're right. Because you said that is his good lane, and Brian can take a deep breath now.
Brian hasn't missed the pocket the whole game. The only hiccup, missing the 7-pin spare. With a spare here, this match is all even going in the 9th and 10th. Look out.
Oh, my goodness.
Didn't miss the 7, though.
Well, at least he kept his sense of humor.
Really?
My
Just,
goodness.
I mean, just inexcusable. To whiff the 4-7 like that. And he knew it as soon as he let go of it. And his comment was, I got the 7-pin, though.
And now Brian takes over.
Takes the lead sitting on the bench.
Big shot. Oh, my God.
That's take.
It's like, I don't want it, you take it. Nope, I don't want it, you take it.
It's a little hot potato here.
That's take. Take.
Look out.
Ain't no gonna miss no 5-pin.
Well, he said he ain't going to miss no 5-pin, and he needs a strike 9 spare to shut out Ricky Ward in the 10th. So really, there's nothing Ricky can do right now unless Brian's not able to accomplish that, but it comes down to this. He has to get the strike on the first ball.
He needs to fill 20 pins in the 10th frame.
Mm-hmm. No.
Well,
Oh, yucky, yucky, yucky.
Brian just lost his 2 pins in count that gave him that 1-pin edge in count that he had over Ricky. Now it's a 1-pin deficit, even though he's still leading by 9. The spare conversion and a strike, Ricky Ward can strike out in the 10th frame to win by 1 pin.
Ain't gonna miss you.
Now Brian must have the strike. That's the bottom line. Forcing Ricky Ward to go strike, strike, strike in the 10th.
Pinch faster than that last shot.
Still talking about his speed.
Oh,
But he's been consistent.
this is a big shot here. The count is pretty important. He gets a strike here, Ricky has to get 3. If he gets 9, Ricky has to get a double and 9.
What a pressure shot by the man who has won 20 PBA events and is in the Hall of Fame.
3 strikes in the 10th frame for Ricky Ward to win by 1 pin again. Wow. Brian knows what he needed.
And he got it. That's the story. 3 strikes, Ward wins. Anything less, Brian Voss picks up his 21st PBA title.
There's one.
I know.
We still have a possibility of a tie.
Well, if he gets this spare...
Brian Voss is your winner.
Oh, Brian Voss is the winner.
That time he didn't get the big break and caving in the big split.
What a victory for Brian Voss. The title is nice, the money is nice, but he said just the feeling we're seeing now is what was important. His first title since 1998. Brian Voss is our champion in 2002 of the Las Vegas Open. We'll be back to Las Vegas after this. Once again, congratulations to all the bowlers, but especially our champion, Brian Voss. He wins the $40,000 first place prize check. Just a reminder, coming up next week, the PBA moves to Dallas, Texas for the PBA Dallas Open. Coming up next on ESPN, the North American International Auto Show. For Randy Peterson, I'm Ron Thulin. Thanks for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.